Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I recently tried an AI-powered health check that honestly felt like stepping into the future. It's called Neko Health, and today I'm sharing my experience and whether I think it's worth the $2.99 price tag. Can a $2.99 AI-powered health scan really tell you something useful about your health? Or is it just clever technology? Let's find out. Booking appointment. I first heard about Neko Health on YouTube. I was intrigued because it promised a personalized health assessment using advanced technology. And at $2.99, it seemed much more affordable than many private health checks. So I decided to give it a go. Booking wasn't quite as simple as choosing a date because I had to register and join a waiting list. During registration, Neko encouraged me to invite up to 5 friends as referrals may help you get an appointment sooner. At that point, I remember thinking, do I even have 5 friends I could invite? Maybe I need to make more friends in the future. After a couple of weeks, I finally received an invitation to book. That made me even more curious. Was this really going to be different from a normal health check? Getting there. If you're traveling by train, the Birmingham clinic is really easy to reach. It's about a 10 minutes walk from Birmingham New Street station, just by Birmingham Cathedral. One quick tip before you arrive. Don't do what I did and walk into the building with the revolving doors. I was convinced that was the entrance. It wasn't. The actual Neko entrance is just to the left, with its own entrance. First impressions. As I walked into the door, I stood in front of the sliding door. I genuinely wasn't sure what to expect. For a few seconds, I actually thought, I'm just going to stand here and get scanned. I even wondered if I'd be going through the whole experience without speaking to another person. Then the door quietly opened, and someone welcomed me with a smile. From that moment on, it honestly felt like I'd stepped into the future. Everything was bright, calm, spotless, and incredibly modern. Every detail seemed carefully designed. But I know this is a funny thing to mention, but I absolutely loved the slippers. They were really square, minimalist, and futuristic. They looked exactly how I imagined slippers on a spaceship would look. Although I've never been on one, it's only a tiny detail, but it shows how much thought has gone into creating the whole experience. The experience. I'm not going to show every part of the scan because I don't want to spoil it if you are thinking about trying it yourself. Also, it didn't really feel like the sort of place where I'd want to spend the whole time filming. I don't think it's appropriate. What I can say is that everything felt smooth, organized, and surprisingly personal. Despite all the advanced technology, it never felt cold or robotic. In fact, it was the complete opposite. The staff explained everything clearly, answered my questions, and made me feel like I wasn't just another customer. It genuinely felt like the experience was built around me. That was probably the biggest surprise. So, was it worth the $2.99? This is probably the question everyone is asking. When I walked out, my first thought was simply, wow, what an experience. I was so impressed that I actually booked another scan before I left. But after the excitement settled, I started asking myself another question. Would I really pay for this every year? Honestly, I'm still not completely sure. If you already have comprehensive private medical insurance, many things such as blood tests and further investigations can already be arranged through your provider. And of course, if your GP thinks you need tests, the NHS can arrange those too. So this isn't really a replacement for private healthcare or the NHS. Instead, I think you're paying for something different. You're paying for convenience. You're paying for innovative technology. You're paying for the way your health information is presented. But more than anything, I think you are paying for the experience. For the hour or so, I genuinely felt like the focus was entirely on me. As a first visit, I definitely feel it was worth the money. Whether I will still feel the same next year, I will let you know. Overall, I'm really glad I booked it. It was unlike any health check I've experienced before. It felt modern, it felt futuristic, but at the same time, it felt very human. If you're curious about Neko Health, I hope this video gave you an honest first impression without spoiling the experience. Have you tried Neko Health? Would you pay $2.99 for an AI-powered health scan? Let me know in the comments below. I do genuinely love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. On this channel, I share honest views, my own experiences, all from the perspective of an ordinary person trying to make the most of life. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.